I just can't get over how intelligent you look right now with your
smart, yo.
with your you just look like a whole different person. Like
Anyone been
you have
smart
like
before?
you have like you look like the anime character because you have like the uneven hair and you have like the little glasses.
And I only, it's funny. I only have the uneven hair because I was getting kind of car sick, so I put my hair out the window, so it's like, whoosh.
But I think you definitely look right now like you look like the intelligent like character, like like how like Wonder Woman like pretended to look like a regular secretary and then she went and was Wonder Woman later. You look like that.
I actually don't know that,
Where,
but
like,
I so believe you.
But like where you like there's like the whole like I'm hiding that I'm like a warrior goddess, so I put on a pair of glasses and try to do my hair in a messy way, but it still looks awesome. Survive. Anyway.
That's because the front is clean, but the back is dirty. I washed my bangs in the sink this morning.
Also, you are someone who can have dirty hair and it still looks beautiful. I have clean hair and it looks greasy.
That's the advantage of having dark hair versus you have orange hair. Your hair, everyone's like strawberry blonde. It's such a hard color to tell because it's not really orange.
Yeah.
But it's not blonde.
I apparently have a very rare hair kind.
It's interesting. It's like an auburn mix.
It also depends on what the lighting is.
That's fair. But the best part is I figured out how this little thing works. Elliot made it, so now I can put a little me in here.
I do like the fact though that there's like a little like cloud that's like right on your face.
I'm like, where does he sit? He must sit like exactly right. He's got good posture. I have really bad posture. I like to slouch and sloop. This one, hey, look, you wanted to be me only stream, no more Evie. Hey guys, it's me stream where I stream by myself. And I just look awesome.
So anyway, let's probably get to the gaming because I can mindless game once we get into the actual combat. So we're gonna, like we said last week, I'm playing.
It's not showing up on our capture card.
We're playing Might and Magic Classic.
Well, you're gonna have to wait because our capture card isn't working. Give me a second.
Cool. Well, we're playing.
It's not showing up at all. Give me a second to work on this, and by that I mean go get Elliot. Evie, hand me Freddy Five Bear. He's gonna sit on the table. I need to go get Elliot.
I don't want to throw this because it's go over here. There's way too many cords over there.
I can't get out. Hand it to throw it like this.
Are you? I'm still so.
Throw it like this.
I'm gonna get the camera.
All right. Thank you. So you can talk about your day.
I don't think I want to talk about my day anymore. I was just off camera. I've had a rough day just because of one of our, not my dog, mind you, but one of the dogs I care for during the day was sick.
Elliot.
And I already talked about that. It was gross. It was stressful. I don't want to talk about my day anymore. I guess we could, we're waiting for people to show up. We can talk about, there was a Nintendo Direct earlier in this week. Not really anything of note besides the fact that all the games that kind of were exclusive to the 3DS eShops are slowly getting ported to Switch, which, to the surprise of no one. That's why they shut down the eShop, so they could sell it again. It's a model. And then there's going to be a Pokemon Direct in like a couple days, which I don't really care about because Pokemon kind of lost a lot of, has always had like kind of some goodwill for me because I love the series so much, but after like Scarlet, oh, you knocked out a camera. We still should point the camera at...
Five Bear camera. We have to put pretty fast at the door.
Sure, why not? Just don't point them in the same direction because then we're going to have like Inception here. But, yeah, so... It's just, I have more goodwill for Pokemon. I still love Pokemon, but I'm not excited for their directs as I used to be, just because they haven't been like as good about their game quality. I mean, to be entirely fair, I'm not saying that they can't pull it out of the bag or can't give me an interesting project, or if they show a trailer, I won't be interested, because like Legends Arceus was a game that both me and Malin loved a lot, and that was definitely one that when you saw the trailer, you're like, I don't know how to feel about this. In fact, I'm a little concerned. And me and Malin were so on the fence about that for the longest time. The only reason I bought it pre-order because it came with a little Arceus plush. And so we both bought it because we both wanted little Arceuses. And then we're like, wow, this game is amazing. I'm glad we bought this one twice. Because this was not going to be a game that we could share. most games we can share because like Mally will play for a little while and then I'll play it. But like this was not a game we can share, so it's a good thing we had both of us there. But then there's like then we got Scarlet and Violet, and that's that was an announcement that I don't think anyone was looking for, considering the Legends Arceus was doing so well. And everyone was just like, okay. And I'm like, you could be excited if you want, but the trailers look jank. And you know what the trailers look jank. The things that they literally can go. I'm all echoey. Mally's trying so hard with her smart glasses right now.
Keep going.
You sure I'm fine? Okay. So, we'll talk about this game in a minute, but we're just going to backtrack at this point, so. To finish my thing about it, like, Scarlet and Violet was, like, one that, like, you know, when you make a trailer and you put, like, the best parts of a game or a movie so that people want to, like, you know, buy it. But, like, Scarlet and Violet was one of the things, like, wow, even in the trailers this looks rough. And, to be fair, Legends Arceus also looked rough in the trailer states. This was one that, like, though, in every single trailer looked rough. Like, at least Legends Arceus did generally, you could be like, okay, there's an art style here, you can see it's, like, progressing over time, but I have to remember what the controls are of this game. Where's the map? The menu. It's Y. I don't know why it's Y. There's nothing to X. I don't know why it's Y. I forgot how much I don't like your artwork. So here we are, back to Clash of Heroes Might and Magic. Love this game. So lukewarm in the art style, but Madeline has made a good point. We will give it until the end of the Elf story, because to be fair, it is probably the weakest one. Besides the Wizard one. The Wizard one sucks. And it also sucks because it's the last one. I believe was I doing the guys and you doing the girls?
Sorry, what's the game
What did we what did we decide on this guy's name again? Findin'? Okay. Fun. I think that it might be better than next era, because again, like this, we have a ranger character with one of the human characters here, and the human character does look at least betterly proportioned than this elf does, but yeah, I don't know. It's maybe just the first region. Maybe just the first region is going to be the area that I'm like, this doesn't look good. Anyway, so let's see. Look, the men of Griffin are about to clash with our elf brothers and sisters, but basically brothers, because we've only seen one female in this whole game so far. Being the character I'm playing, mind you. Oh yeah, that's right, I did complete a bounty. Give me money. Well, it's really just for buying new units, but since this part of the game is pretty easy, I don't lose a lot of units. So this guy's gonna be my partner in the next area, and his art actually looks fine. Again, I think it's only the girls. They make their eyes like too big. The exception of like, what's her name's mom. She looked fine. Like she was the only one that like, oh, this looks like about the same as the last one did. I don't remember. I remembered it at the moment. Now I don't remember what it is. Let's see. And just there. Here. And we kind of also, the reason we were thinking about this, so I will admit, coming back to this again, I'm not quite as jarringly hit by, so I obviously have to kill him before that thing charges up. Those are the champion units right there. They hit, like, really hard. They'll take forever to charge up, so. Well, I mean, that's usually not a problem because they also can take a hit, so, like, you know, you don't have to worry about them, like, dying quickly unless they're not charging. That's why as soon as you have one in the field, you'll want them charging. Like, I've gotten ones where I play and get, like, 3 of those in the field, and they're, like, they take a while to charge up, and you have to make a 4 formation for them to work, so you, like, you'll keep stressing about getting them, like, charging, because once they're charged, they're great, but until then, they're just taking up a lot of space in the field. Yeah, I think our frame rate was dropping a little bit there, which is interesting. Yeah, that's the right one. I have to remember the controls because I haven't been here for a week. Okay. Oh, we could double charge my deer up. That'd be fun. I think we got enough moves to do that. And then we can double stack my deer. Awesome. I think the biggest issue with the deer in this one is like, they just, like, the knight characters up there, they look properly proportioned to each other. The sprites for the elf one, they just don't look quite right. Like, the proportions aren't quite right, the line art seems a little shaky in some areas. Huh. My deer's gonna hit for 50 damage. It's gonna kill that guy, like, right off the bat. Yeah, look at that. That's a good amount of damage right there. I'll be able to kill him easily before we get to his dude being charged up. No worries about that. And the elven one is just not, like, even the knights on that side, like, the proportion looks better. Like, the deer, for some reason, they just look too small. Like, the elite units, like, look so much bigger in the last one. And, like Malian said, like, I remember, like, when I was looking at this before, I was, like, more instinctively paying attention. That just animation looks slow. Like, weirdly slow. I wonder if we're dropping frames here or anything like that. Okay, my dudes are getting stronger. I might pull my dragons in just to see.
The young elves are determined to stop this meaningless war, risking everything to try to call a truce between these once peaceful neighbors.
See, the voice acting. They added voice acting for the art style scenes. But they didn't add voice acting everywhere else, and you have to wonder why. You went through the effort of voicing that. There are, like, a total of, like, 8 characters in the game. Like, 4 protagonists, and they all have a partner. Those, at the very least, you get those voices. But it's weird that they gave voices to only the cutscenes. Like, it's just, it is an interesting choice. It's like, Malian's brought it before, but I'm like, in this day and age, every game should have voice acting, especially text-heavy games like this. Like, if you're gonna consider yourself in the RPG, either have voice acting or don't. Unless you're Pokemon. Pokemon, you should have voice acting by now. It's way too long, you're so freaking rich, you've proven that you can literally put out poop, and people will pay $10 million for it. You can afford voice acting. Your mobile game has voice acting. I'm telling you, Pokemon Direct's coming up and I'm not really caring about it at all because I just have no goodwill for them right now. Even if I still love the franchise, I have no goodwill for them right now. I'll tell you about this other song video I watched earlier today that kind of frustrated me, but I don't want to be angry the entire stream. And you're the female voices?
Yes, I can be, if you like.
Oh, just so that we can give you, like, something to do.
$10 million taco. What's happening in here? I come in here, $10 million poop is the first comment. Hello?
Well, I have to say something in order to get people to start commenting in the chat. Otherwise, they just sit there and let me talk to myself.
Why did you say... Anyways, look at my cool glasses. Let's freaking go. Now I'm a gamer.
You do.
Is my face too big also? The answer is always no. But
no, you're fine. You're really not covering anything up because...
Oh, well, I didn't know if I might cover up some of the text.
Not at the moment, you aren't, no.
She says, stop, everyone! Everyone, stop it! Put down your arms!
I'm gonna need you to...
But it's so fun to listen to Eevee rant and no one... That's why I said, Eevee, keep ranting. Let's read together.
To be fair, that's why I actually, there's many stories to be had about that, but
no, this I just can't, like...
That's the main reason I need Madeline, or at least some version of friendship, because I will just rant to a room alone, but people start worrying about you then when you talk to yourself that much. They go and start telling on you to teachers. So you need to have at least another human next to you.
Evie, you can rant. Okay, the easiest way for me to get around the camera is actually to climb over the bed. Sorry.
Because
I need to get to the other side of the room. Sorry, give me a second. I need to get to the other side of the bed. This is the easiest way.
Because we have so many cords.
Anyways, you were saying?
Oh, you're rocking those glasses, Mal. I told you the glasses looked awesome.
They're Elliot.
Don't they look great on her?
I was trying to do glasses.
They make her look so pretty and intelligent.
Let's freaking go! Hype me up some more!
I am hyping you up. You have to just get back over here so you can actually, like... Bested by a young girl on the battlefield. I love when they spell it Psy. Like, Psy should have like 2 asterisks on it to show that it's not being spoken. Unless he's like just being sarcastic and saying the word Psy. I mean, to be fair, this guy actually might be doing that. Sir Varkas at your mercy, elf. Speak. He has a dog. Okay, Melanie. You gotta go be your fearless heroine now.
I can get my voice actor back up.
No, I'm using my just natural voice for all the guys, so there's no bar here. The bar is on the ground.
Master Varkas, why have you raised arms against my people? Every line I want to do a different voice.
You sound like being bald.
It's the only accent I can do. Anyways,
Really helps her feel right at home
my chapstick.
as a freaking nerd. We are freaking nerds. Have you? I don't know. Has Eric seen our room? Just ask Danny and Meredith about it. They'll tell you.
No, we're not nerds. We're like, you need help. You're like, oh, okay. You are one step away from being insane.
No, we already are. The difference is that even if you have a diagnosis for that, doesn't mean it actually changes anything. The only thing it changes is if you have insurance.
You can tell, we have addictions.
You started it. Our village across the river has been attacked. The crap's sabotage.
You started it! That's not how I would say it. You started it.
Also, no. I feel like right now...
You said, no, my anonymity.
I don't think that's how you spelled it either.
Anonymity.
Yeah, I can't see it very well from this distance.
A-N-O-N-Y-M-I-T-Y.
I mean, maybe. It looked like there was an extra Y in there. Oh well. He feels like he should have an angry sprite right now with this accusation.
Like, no, because he's like, you started it. Ew. Who's Neeler?
I don't know, like that guy. Like I told you, there's only one female elf in this whole thing. No, keep going with the liar thing. You had a vibe there.
Liar! Your kind slew wise Lasir, her father, along with his brother. I want you to know the text on the screen is like this big.
You're doing great, Madeline. No, that's you.
No! I was there that day. I didn't attack us. A demon dad.
Okay,
Anyways,
you need to stop channeling Olivia, because that's kind of giving me like PTSD.
Actually, the funny part about this stream is I want to try and do my show makeup to see how fast I can do it, but I'm only going to do it like within the screen, so it's going to be practical. Anyways, I've got the stream of live play Cyberpunk. I'll be chiming in occasionally. Hey man.
I hear the game's less broken now.
Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
It took them a while, but they finally are fixing it, so you know they're actually getting some goodwill back.
Yeah,
even though they absolutely crapped it out concerning the latest Suicide Squad game.
Oh.
It's amazing how game companies can at one moment be like, you give us hope, and then they're like, never mind. Here's the darkness of the world again. This actually reminds me of the whole thing that you're like.
Way less broken.
That's why I guess.
Didn't it come out and it was like 100% unplayable? Like, what was the on a scale of 1 to 10? Oh no, it's a different company. On a scale, okay, so he said different company for the Suicide Squad game. That's what I thought.
I thought they were both by Rocksteady.
Wouldn't that be like by Rockstar?
Maybe it's Rockstar. I do get Rockstar and the Rocksteady mixed up sometimes.
Rockstar is an energy drink. Anyways, what on a scale of like 1 to 10, how broken was Cyberpunk? Like, what was the worst thing that? I don't remember. I thought there was something with like.
Was it Scarlet and Violet levels of broken? Because that game was broken.
I thought I remember something with people being
demons.
Naked, and I don't know what that means. Like.
It's your line, Melly.
Suicide Squad is Rocksteady. Cyberpunk is CD Projekt Red, the Witcher guys. Isn't there something like some drama with Witcher right now too?
There's always drama with Witcher. I don't think I've ever heard it come up.
Why did Henry Cavill leave the Witcher TV show? What's up with that? Oh, this is just straight up broken.
Yeah, I don't know. There seems to be always some sort of drama around that particular franchise, one reason or another. Anyway, it's your line, Melly.
Oh, there's text is in front of it. We're the victims of terrible lies. We must spread truth before our lands are plunged into war.
Again, he says sigh out loud. Even if I believe you, that means little. The Griffin Empire seeks revenge. I'm glad that this like literally happened overnight. They have the most impressive mail system ever for a medieval country.
They're like, anyways, war.
How did they figure this out in the course of like a day? Her father died last night.
He was too much of a nerd and didn't like that they were disregarding the books.
That's what an adaptation is. Do you know sometimes that's a good thing? The How to Train Your Dragon series disregarded the books, and it was better for that. the books are not
who
nearly
is
as.
a nerd? I lost him too many pronouns. What's happening in context?
Henry Cavill.
Oh, he's too much of a nerd. Didn't like the theory. Oh, in regards to The Witcher. Okay. Sorry, I didn't know that. I thought there was like a dispute
Under
on set.
orders from Count Carlisle, I
That's
sent
so
men.
funny, actually.
Also, have you ever found a Carlisle that's a good character?
Yes, the dad in Twilight. the vampire dad, Carlisle Cullen, is a good guy, I think.
From Twilight,
I only watched the first movie.
From Twilight, mind you.
From Twilight, yeah, dog. Don't knock Twilight till you try it. The games are much more loose.
I think I have every right to knock Twilight for a lot of reasons.
Knock up Twilight. Let's freaking go.
Everyone did want to knock up
True,
Twilight.
but I did notice my little face isn't back. True, but the show was marketed on the idea of being faithful to the books. The game's much more loose.
Okay, so
he, left
let's take a
because-
moment. I know I need to get through this cutscene, but let's take a moment and talk about it for a moment.
Let's take notes.
Stop
Let's not-
advertising as faithful to the source material. You wouldn't be making an adaptation if you were going to do that. Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, perfect example of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Faithful to the series. It's literally the exact same thing
Which is super
with
funny
no
'cause that one
updates
ended
really.
ruining itself by being too
Because it
faithful
was
to the wrong game.
the one that everyone loves about Gen 4 is Pokemon Platinum, not Diamond and Pearl. In fact, Platinum is the one that made Gen 4 good because the original ones were really unbalanced and had a lot of issues. Not like broken issues, just like balancing issues.
And anyway,
like-
if you're wondering what's happening,
Being too faithful is usually going to shoot you in the butt. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
and
really.
that's why Henry Cavill left, because he didn't like how they were handling things. I don't know if that's like
Wise.
No, I don't know if that's like a sign to the writers to be like, hey. Because I haven't seen the show, so I don't know if it's like a, hey, maybe your show should go in the direction. Or if the show is doing well and they were like, this is going good for us, and he was like,
Well, yeah.
I don't know, like, what
That's the thing. Is like that's
I
true.
don't
Without
know the show.
we don't have context of what The Witcher is in general. But I'm like, if The Witcher is, like, for instance, like the games I hear great things about, but they're more loose with the franchise. I'm like, then it's not a good thing. It wasn't a faithful adaptation. If you adapt it into something new and different, if it does what an adaptation is meant to do, and reimagines the material, then adaptations are fine. The problem is that being too faithful usually means you're just like tying yourself in there. And also, I just watched a video about it later. We're never gonna get through this cutscene. I just watched a thing about this earlier about like the Sonic movies, for instance, and the fact that they aren't like, why do video game movies usually fail? Because usually they are way too concerned with trying to keep to the source material, or they don't keep to it at all. Because on one hand, yeah, not using the source material at all and disregarding it, like the original Super Mario movie, not a good idea. But at the same time, why did like the Assassin's Creed movie fail? Why is the Uncharted movie fail? Why did the Warcraft movie fail? They're too concerned with being the game, and they can't be. They're a movie. A movie and a video game have, on principle, are different media forms. So it's better to do like what they did with Sonic or even Detective Pikachu, where you take things that you take a few strong moments, condense the story into a few strong moments, have some good throw-ins there to the original franchise, but at the end of the day, you have to kind of make your own story out of it. That's why it needs to be adapted. It can't be 100% faithful, because books are huge. Books are so freaking huge. You're not going to fit that in a movie.
Sorry for distracted from the cutscene. I'll get back to it. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
This is what we are, like, this is our, back to the roots of us as gamers and streamers. It's, talking about one, it's so ADHD. It's talking about one topic while being on another. The funny thing is, this is how Evie and I run our conversations normally when we're talking to each other. She's talking about, like, blah, 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 has been hotel, and I'll be like, blah, 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 Chinese, Danmei book. And she'll be
Danmei.
like, yeah, and she'll be like, blah, 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 Genshin Impact, and I'll be like, blah, blah,
It's
blah,
why-
Neopets.
why we're-
These conversations are going like this, and we're, like, still participating in each other's conversations.
We're like on two different trains, and we're just shouting across
here's
the like
thing. We're
median.
still in the same conversation, but one sentence she'll be like, and like literally, yeah, that's fun impression. She'll literally be like, oh my god, I saw this, like we were talking about today. She'll be like, oh my gosh, I saw the release of the Sonic X Shadow crossover game, whatever, Generations, and I'll be like, that's so crazy, because this morning I had no connection on my phone.
We
so I
probably
couldn't
should
play
pause this and
Neopets.
finish this cutscene
And
so I
there
can at
was-
least get in a battle. We can talk during the battle.
Dang, that's crazy.
We'll come back to this. We will. But let's finish this cutscene
Pause.
so that we can actually get
Meanwhile,
into a
I'll put
battle.
my-
Because then I can go and like do bounty hunts or something.
Your girl glasses, second read. Good. I actually think I might need glasses.
That's you.
It is the mother seed. Hey.
They're gonna go burn it.
Anytime I hear the word seed, I'm like,
Get your mind out of the gutter. We're in a place surrounded by trees.
I am in Victory. I'll talk about that in a minute. That's another story I can go on for like an hour about. It is sacred! My sacred seed.
Alan, stop.
Future generations of our tree spring from it.
Oh, really?
From
They're
their
planning
seed.
to destroy it.
Why is he talking? They're planning to
I want you to
I
react.
should have done his voice. They're planning to destroy it.
I want you to react to her sprite with his voice.
Ow, Savannah, no!
Why are you country there?
Every time I talk, she's from different places.
If we hurry, we'll be able to stop them. I'm sorry, I was following orders.
Homie's so dumb.
Okay.
Dang, there's only 3 lines. We've been talking for like 20
Anyway, I'm gonna go do some stuff. So continue with. So explaining our way of speaking. This is why we honestly should have a podcast, because people trying to keep up
will
with.
follow it unless you're
people
deeply neurodivergent.
and also-
if not, you're gonna be like, oh my god, this is
Because we've
overwhelming.
had relatives, friends, our parents, like people just concerned, like, how are you keeping up with each other right now? Like we do, because we, I don't know, we live together.
the power I
We've
have in
lived
my little
together for
corner.
like our entire lives.
Yeah, so
We
it's
just
like,
no one else we can do this with, but we can do this really well with each other, and it can get pretty crazy.
It's only because
Sir Nathanson.
Sir Nathan. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it's
That's the best name.
It's because we've grown up, so we're only 2 years apart, so we've grown up, and essentially everything's like we grew up together and everything, so we can unfortunately read each other's thoughts at this point, honestly. So Evie will be like, I saw this really cool thing on the Nintendo Direct today, it's about Sonic, and I'll be like, and I don't know which Neopet skin to get. I can do Fairy, which is what I planned for, but then the Darrigan looks really cool. And then she'll go, so it might have something to do with Fire Emblem, but unconfirmed yet. What would you think if they needed a new Resplendent? Who would you want? And I'd be like, and then maybe I'll just get both, because I can trade for one, but I'm waiting for the plushie skin to be released, because I have like 10 I want to make plushies, and 2 I want to make babies, but I don't know if they'll make babies unconverted again, because they only have like 3 converted ones, and now they're unconverting them.
I
and
have the
pay,
exact
and then-
wrong people in front of these 2 druids. Do you see that right now?
Yeah, it's like
That's the worst.
It's really funny. And then I have to pay, but it's on sale until the 14th, but they won't release it after, and then she'll go. So, in the end, they released Soren as a Resplendent. I don't know your thoughts. Hell is I know your favorite region. But then I heard this new song from the Vocaloids, and the Resplendent costume reminded me of this Vocaloid thing, and then I'll go, and then today a different kid peed their pants, and you would not believe how it happened. And then she'll be all, and I just didn't get why Kaito was dressed up this way. It makes sense. This is a conversation. Wait a second.
That does sound like a
This is
conversation we have.
conversation we had yesterday. Her being like, so Kaito is in this thing, Project Voltage, where they're doing this thing. Hold on, you know that.
I realize why it didn't look like him now. It's because he has the white highlights in his hair, and every other module he has, his hair is
Back to the
always the
Vocaloid,
same.
by the way.
His hair is always the same, even if it's a different shade of blue. It's always the same style, and because they drew his hair different, that's why it doesn't look like him.
She was like, we were watching a music video, and I'm like wandering around our room, and she's like, Kaito looks so good in here, and I really like the stuff, and I was like, I don't know if I want to be alive anymore. And then she's like, and then there's like Latias, and I'm like,
I think it
deposit
fit
my
because
check.
they had
I
that.
have like 4 weeks worth of pays.
That's why I think that like they drew him
these are
like.
the conversations that just like.
Well, they drew him younger, so I think they're definitely like. Sometimes I don't know if they want to ship him with Miku or they're doing a whole older brother, younger sister thing, which I think they do because the Latias and Latios
We're doing
thing
it
that
right
they're
now. We're doing it right
I
now.
hit the mic by accident because I was gesturing with my hands.
So that's. I don't know how we got onto this topic. I already forgot.
Eric asked us why we're talking.
Okay. I was like, I don't know how. Oh, we were talking about distractions. I was like, I don't know how we got here. I don't remember why
Man.
we're talking. I do this all the time.
We do this all the time.
And I'll be like, blah, 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 especially when I'm in therapy. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, what was your question? I forgot what I was answering. So I'll play myself and
I don't know. Look at the comments and see what he was asking last.
No, there's been no.
I think I was ranting about faith. I think I was
ranting.
ranting about faithful recreations. Okay,
Oh,
does
well,
it
you
look like
should
my
get back to
elite units are like moving slower? Like, look at the animations when they charge up. They are almost like stuttering a little, but then they attack at the right speed. It's like they're dropping frames on the animations of like the elite units. You'll have to see when this guy attacks and see if it does it again. But they did that with my
I'll
deer, and I'm like, what?
I'll
This
keep my
isn't a
eyes-
complicated game. How are you stuttering?
Yeah, I'll keep my eyes real close.
But it
real.
was. I'm like, what's going on right now?
Yeah, I'm looking. You were talking about faithful recreations of games. I was talking about the word seed. Because
you can't get
let
your
me
mind out of the gutter.
Yeah, I was about adaptations of different things into things. Okay, well, I will put a pin in mine because mine's a long. Mine, you have to wind yourself up to get into my topic. It's super
Is it the
weird.
thing we talked about with Genshin Impact yesterday?
Yes,
That
but
sounds like
mine
fun.
is like mine is like not. safe
Okay,
for work
watch
talk.
this
So
guy. Watch this
easy.
guy.
Okay, I'm watching.
See how it looks like super slow?
Ooh, weird.
It was going faster than that last time.
Yeah, he
I wonder if I need to update the game.
Maybe. Either way, so what Ollie will be doing while Evie's, the reason I have a face cam is I'm gonna be doing. I have a show on Saturday, and I want to see how fast I can do my makeup in this camera, or like in my little thing. So, boom, we're starting off with this. This is called Maximum Sensory Stream. Welcome to the stimulation stream. We should have been
Simulation.
we should
This
have
is
been-
also simulation. We are not really here.
Overstimulation gamers should have been our real name. Cozy? No, actually, too
No, but
stimulated.
we want it to be a goal, not where we currently are in life.
True. So it's like I will be talking through my makeup routine while Evie discussed adaptations of different things. We were currently talking about, I think, we were doing Witcher, talking about that, Cyberpunk, and you were also talking about Pokemon, I believe, talking about...
So I'm curious, as Cyberpunk as a game, is it actually a Cyberpunk aesthetic? We were talking about Cyberpunk aesthetic the other day because
Cyberpunk aesthetic, or is it Neo Tokyo futurism?
Well,
aesthetic?
because we were talking about this when we were talking
Cyberpunk
about
has
like
more clocks.
one of the things we want to play on stream at some point. I bought it because we both watched it like as a movie and we thought it was really cool. I bought Detroit Become Human to talk about it because there's that and like Resident Evil 8 are games I want to just play for the sake of I have so much to talk about with them. But like that's one there I'm like this is like I told Madeline like the reason this game fascinates me because it's the only time I've seen androids done that's not in a cyberpunk setting.
Eventually, we do want to play Detroit Become Human on here because we watched it in like a movie cut, so it's kind of like watching a TV
And honestly,
show.
that's the best. If you have no intention of playing it, just look up best endings, like full playthrough 6 hours. Just watch it like that. The game is so cinematic. The music is so good. You can just watch it like a movie.
We watched it.
You
like
honestly can just watch it like a movie.
Yeah, we watched it like a TV show.
You were
It's based
so
on a TTRPG. What does TTRPG mean?
tabletop role playing game.
Tabletop role-playing game made by Mike Pondsmith, basically the pioneer. Hey,
That's actually
I
good.
don't know
I like
how
that
to read.
name. That's a
the
good name.
Pondsmith, basically this pioneer of the cyberpunk genre. Oh, interesting. So they made a game based off of it. That's interesting.
That makes sense because that'd be like kind of like Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, which eventually I do want to play Baldur's Gate on here. But we hope to eventually play Detroit Become Human on here in a little like once we
have more of a steady going audience.
Yeah, so it's like we're still trying to kind of get our feet underneath us because there's only
Right now, I say we're like solidly on our stomach.
yeah we're working on it. We're, still
We're
trying
getting
to
those
learn-
ab muscles.
We're babies. We're trying to learn how to roll over still. So once we kind of get we get our schedule established, we get
Which is why I felt we had to do at
we
least
get our-
something tonight.
we establish our Discord. Whoopsies, gotta get
It's
there
gonna
eventually.
eventually.
Maybe this
I
weekend.
need to stop having scheduling snafus, and then I'll have more things to
we're
focus
just-
on.
This week has been a crazy week. You know how it is. A
I feel
long.
like we say that every week.
Every week. Yeah, no, this week in particular has been, for me, this has been a very emotionally, heavy hitting week. Let me tell you for real.
Lots of oofs.
But it's like the kind of emotion where it's like, it's not I would tell funny stories in here. It's like, I'm depressed and I gotta schedule an extra therapist
But
session
what do we
week.
learn from Hasbin Hotel? What are you supposed to say?
Take that depression. Have you guys watched Hasbin Hotel?
Good show. Good
10
show.
out of 10 would recommend.
Just-
Anyways, I don't know what you're
Just
talking
have Lucifer as your icon there, Malin. Your inspiration.
I love him. Yeah, the show's great. But when we watched Detroit Become Human, so we started watching like Jacksepticeye's thing. I meant to dip showing my internet's boarding the struggle bus and going full speed ahead right now.
So clearly,
Yeah,
you need to
if
watch
you
us
have-
instead of playing your video game. Come on, man.
That's true. If you have like
Did,
AT&T,
did,
I
did
heard
you
that's
tell
the
Danny
best.
and Meredith too?
I put in our D&D Discord.
They tend to like when to turn into us. At the very least, we're entertainment for Willow.
Yeah, I love streaming for Willow. That was my best.
We're here for Willow.
That's my homegirl Willow.
Yeah, exactly. Hope she's watching this.
Well,
Yeah, see
I
that
mean,
animation?
yeah.
I swear the animation paid faster last time we played this.
I can't. I'm trying to do make it purely in this camera, so I don't know if these are even. So I can
It's okay. You know, imperfection is great, Malin.
My eyebrows are really hard to work with because they're like a weird shape.
But
yeah, Detroit Become Human,
Because-
surprisingly, I'm not a big fan of things. We here, boyos, let's go.
okay,
baby.
we want to make sure that we obviously our sole motivation is to be entertainment for your children, so we want to make sure that they were
honestly,
here.
We stream for your kids.
We really do.
So,
Gives
you
us
can
so
do
much
your
life.
makeup along at home with me. Honestly, I just opened my little, okay, so I have a mirror inside this palette, but it's smashed. I don't know if you can, like, see it right here. Because I put it in the back of the car when we were, a long time ago when we were driving, and then I unbuckled because I needed to jump out really quick, and my mom smashed the brakes. I was like,
Oh, I remember that.
I smashed this with my knee. So I was like, I can look in here, but like the mirror is all just like destroyed.
It is janked up.
So I can't see. But it does look, I'm like,
So the whole thing that got us first, I'll just say for most, you can do your makeup. So the whole thing that got us into Detroit Become Human is I saw some like. I watched this one guy, this like gaming hair or something like. I really like the way he does lore videos. Like he has a good way of condensing
I
it.
love a good lore video.
Well,
So,
like
yeah.
he's like done it for a lot of like horror games I know I will never play, but I'm like, I originally found him through I think like watching Resident Evil 8 videos and be like, I like how he summarizes it. He does a good job of like he goes into it, but obviously he keeps things out like if you wanted to play the game you could, and you're still gonna have a lot of things evident from I watched his summary and then watched the playthrough of Detroit Become Human, and I still had a lot of moments where like, oh, did not see that one coming at all.
Yeah.
But like I watched his thing, so I'm like, oh, that's right, because I remember like I don't know why I remember GT Live doing it, because they are like the only one who didn't complete their playthrough. But I remember GT Live playing it for some reason and being like, oh, I need to go watch that because they're good with those choice-based games. So I remember putting it on like a list to watch later, never going back to watch it, and totally forgetting the game existed. But I knew
The
it was
watch
a big.
later list. Oh. Give me a stream where Evie plays a game and Madeline gives us a makeup look based on characters picking. That's so smart! Wait, we should start doing that on Thursdays. Because I was thinking, like, I had so much fun doing my makeup this weekend. It's the first time I did it in forever.
That'd be a
Yo,
pretty cool thing to do.
That's smart. I'm gonna put that down.
Yeah, write that one down.
I would actually love to do that. And then we can do your makeup along, do it with us at home. I love doing that stuff. Because right now I'm doing my,
You should do that, Melanie. That'd be great. You can try and do her eye makeup with a big green thing across her eye.
that would be so easy. I literally have,
Melanie, I challenge you to the end of the stream to get Anwin's makeup.
I literally have green pencils in
Start
my
making it right now, Melanie. She's got some eyeliner.
No, I can do it on one eye. I'll do it on one eye.
But you already did your like eyebrows, and she has like
I'm
the.
so proud of herself. She should be. That's a great idea.
We're
I
so
didn't
proud
even
of her
think
too,
about that.
actually.
No, it's such a smart idea. I'm gonna write that down.
We are also so proud of Meredith.
That's good. I was like, that's a really, really good idea that I actually.
This
did.
guy is just holding on. Like I've hit him with so many charge units at this point. He's still alive because I've just been hitting his charged up units. So like nothing's actually killed anything yet. The other guy was easier to kill than this guy is. Anyway, so the whole point being is that paint yourself blue for.
I would though. That'd be really funny.
But yeah, I tell you, you should do Amwin's makeup. But anyway, so the thing is, so that I was like, oh, essentially the idea is that I remember Detroit Become Human making a splash when it came in, but I never actually did it. But I also avoided any playthroughs because I assumed it was like Until Dawn, which was really big. That was all we watched during college. Like was just like a lot of those sort of playthroughs because that was the big days of like there was just like that fad was like you remember that it was pretty huge. And so, like, I'm like, okay, I won't watch it, though, because that way I'll be able to, like, watch it blind when I watch whoever playthrough. So I watched Jacksepticeye do the demo. Jacksepticeye. Detroit Become Human is interesting because the fact that they're, like, it's, first of all, it's bold choice making your demo the first level. But also, at the same time, it's smart because the demo at least makes it seem like you get right into the action when the truth of the game is you play the first level, which is the demo, and then there's actually just a lot of talking and walking around before you get to the action again. So it's a good thing they start with the action because otherwise it would take a while for the story to get going. And also because, let's be honest, even watching the game, I can already guess what the most fun part of the game is. And it's the going and being a detective. It's going and being a detective. It's the reason we like these, like, Danganronpa and Ace Attorney games. We want to go and find all the clues and figure out the mystery. And we also, if you get to also do, like, some, like, parkour and, like, combat and junk, then, why not? Why wouldn't you want that? Okay, cool. And beat that guy. Now I'm gonna go find another bounty, I think. Oh, that's right. I probably should train my Emerald Dragons, shouldn't I? But, is that it? I remember I did my last playthrough. I forgot to train them, and so they never leveled up. I probably should train them. I'm gonna train them. I'll switch my druids out. For now.
Primer. That was like an eyebrow gel. I have exactly one natural eyebrow hair, so I really gotta, stick her in there. And then this is a eyeshadow primer. All my stuff is
these
from NYX
puzzles
because
are either really easy or I get them stuck on them like 15 times. So we're gonna see how this goes. So essentially, the idea was that I watched the Detroit Become Human. I watched Jacksepticeye play the demo. Funniest thing, he got like not necessarily one of the worst endings, but definitely the
badder ones.
He got the bloodiest ending. Let me put it that way. He got the one where you get shot several times through the chest and you're bleeding everywhere.
Go through the bag. That was crazy.
Well, the thing is, like, you still saved the girls. Technically, you did it right, but also she's definitely traumatized from it again. Someone who's like shot to death and bleeding out through their mouth.
Yeah, that was crazy. Anyways,
So I was like,
I thought that kid should have died.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's fine. I think the bigger thing is that, honestly, because we talked about this before, we'll have so much to talk about when we get to Detroit Become Human, but I'm like, we talked about this before. Kids, with the way they are, that girl probably did entirely believe that, like,
See,
this is her
she's got a
friend.
very optimistic, kind view of children. I have a mean, angry view of children.
I mean more the fact, like, if androids literally were created in the idea of that game, do you think a 5-year-old to 8-year-old would not treat them like an actual, like, human adult? Like, it's not until, like, the teen years that you start seeing, like, adults as not the ultimate authority in the first place. I think that they would treat an android the same way. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, any sort of, like, discrimination between these two, like, races, so to speak, these two species, is really only from the adults, because the adults are cynical and stuff. But I think kids honestly wouldn't care one way. It's like nannying, for instance. Like, that isn't your mom, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't, like, care for that person. That's what I mean. Like, I think the girl was just like, I think she did really care for the guy that was taking care of her. Like a nanny would.
I wonder how kids who are nannied, do they see it as like an infant or a nanny? Like, I was wondering how that would work as a child.
We're Miss Malin and Miss Evie for Patrick.
Evie and I, especially, are the first 2 kids. So we did, like, our mom took off time to raise us because we were born in such close succession. So I'm like, we didn't really, like, Olivia had more of an experience, and I was wondering what would it be like to be a kid, and how would you view your nanny or, like, your caretaker? I just wondered about that. Would you view them like an aunt or uncle, or like a close friend?
Nope, that wasn't
or
right.
like a parent figure? Like, I was wondering how that would work, and I guess it does depend on how full-time they are.
Yeah, that wasn't
made
right.
myself look like I am.
Did that wrong.
Strange.
But, and so, again, long story short, so so what happened was, that I watched that stuff that I do the demo, and again, after watching him, like, kind of screw it up, he was doing really well until he, like, chose the sacrifice self option, and he's like, I died. I'm like, what did you think sacrifice self meant?
Sacrifice self, bozo? What do you think is gonna happen?
Admittedly, I thought that choice meant he was going to jump off a building, but I was also like, what do you think sacrifice self was going to mean?
It says my audio is really screwy, sounds really far away. That's probably because this mic's like, it's adjusted to Elliot's settings. So let me know if it's still weird, or if I might just I blew it out. I might just be being picked up on Evie's mic because I talk so loud. Let me know if I try to dial it up a little bit. Let me know if it's
That didn't work
better. The microphone's also over here, and I'm like way back here. So I'm gonna turn up just a little.
I thought I screwed that up for a moment, but I'm like, I got really close actually. I was just one move
So you
short.
can see it's like,
So I was close on that one. These puzzle ones are always ones where I'm just like, I think I'm close. So this over there.
let me know if that fixes
there.
it, or if it might give reverb on Evie's mic through mine or mine through. So just let me know if that made it better, or if I need to talk like
there.
this, ASMR style. I did that to Patrick one day. He was laying on me and he found a paintbrush and he was like, "Ha, I'm gonna paint your face," and I was like, "Okay," and I was like, ooh, I found the secret to making that kid lay down. I was like, I did a little
Okay, so I need 2 more moves.
ASMR noises, and then he sounds swagging now. Let's freaking go. We were trying to describe that to my mom earlier. She was like, because we were talking about Ellie's got a new friend. Ooh. Lady friend. Ooh. And we were like, how, you know, and there, my sister was talking about like, oh, she's a really nice girl, and she does all these things, and she's like a volunteer, and we were like, how did she get with Elliot? And I was like, his Riz, Miss Laura. And she was like, what is Riz? I'm like, it's his swag, his
To be fair,
game,
I also
his
asked what
charm,
Riz,
by the way.
I also asked what Riz was, so...
I was like, I don't know, it's his swag. And I was like, that's not gonna make her have any more of an idea what's going on. And I was like, it's his natural charm. It's the fact that he can grow a full beard and I can't.
This time I had enough moves, but I'm
That's
missing
the only
last
difference
unit.
between us.
Okay, I'm getting closer on this. I had enough moves, but I didn't have the right amount of units.
So now I'm trying to decide, should I go through with my show makeup or should I do like...
I think you should try and do the character I'm playing as right now. I'm
I
gonna be
could do
stuck
hers,
looking
it's
at her
just
for a while.
green. It's boring.
But she also has like some eyeliner going on there.
Like trying to see.
How about you just look it up on your phone?
Picture's so far away.
Where's my phone? You can even do her old artwork.
Let me take a peek. And when makeup. And when with an E. And
Yeah,
when.
and when.
Images. Oh, apparently Anwen is a Elder Scrolls character and a type of lotion and a real person's name. I don't know why I didn't think that through. Anwen Might and Magic.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm still
I'm
missing
sleepy.
one
You guys
move. I just
sleepy?
need one more move. I'm missing something here.
Okay, her original art. She looks slight.
I know, she looks so much better. I think it's
She's
because her
very
eyes are...
She's
Her
very
eyes just aren't
slay
as big.
queen.
Like, she just looks a little bit too like anime here, I think.
Might and Magic original. Go to the Might and Magic wiki. Anyways, Evie, is there anything you'd like to discuss while
There
I look
is...
this up?
Yeah, well, I'll just continue on my last train of thought. I was just trying to figure out how... I'm missing something here. I'm definitely missing something. Oh, there we go.
What were we supposed to be doing?
I just didn't have enough moves to charge the guy in the middle. And I'm like, okay, I was like...
Why do you have a tree?
Because I'm doing a puzzle right now, I have to defeat all the units on the other side of the map. So I was just like, you know, you have to figure out what the right combination of
Yeah, what
of
the heck? This
moves
is her like original art. You can't see because my phone's too freaking bright.
It's like you have to find the right combo of moves and units in order to get it, and so I was like, oh, I'm getting close.
Why does she look so cool?
Cause, like I said, I think her art's okay. So back to the original thing. So that's cool. So essentially, I watched Jacksepticeye play it, and the biggest thing that probably frustrated us, as me and Mallory were watching it, was the fact that we were like, oh hey, you know, like essentially you get kind of like the backseat gamer syndrome, where you're like, oh my gosh, go faster, like. The biggest thing that bothered me when he was doing the demo was that there would be like, hey, you only have a few minutes to do this, and then he would go walking around and then stop and talk, and then they'd be like, okay, your few minutes are up, time to go out and interrogate the guy with the gun.
And he'd be like,
and he's like, what? So then he figured out, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do that. Supposed to do that later, and I like it's like I'm gonna rule the world. Wizards suck. Let's see if I am strong enough to beat this guy. I don't know if I might have to go find some undead thing to fight.
Her original art, those almost look more like scars. Versus here, they're like
Yeah, they just look better.
weird green marks.
This
Keyword.
one there. Maybe they'll actually make the wizard units look good, because those ones always look
We'll
bad.
have to see. I don't think so.
So I'm like, I'm willing to at least get to the undead area of this, this game, because that is the best one. Got my dragon charged up turn 1, that's always a good sign. And get another of those.
Because, like, this version of her, you can barely see it, from the Might and Magic wiki, she doesn't even have, like, the top scar.
So yeah, it might just be a redesign thing. glad they did. I mean, I love this game. But, so, we watched Jacksepticeye do it, and the point was that after watching the demo, first of all, I realized this game seemed very interesting to me. I was just, really the thing that blew me away was the music design. It was so good. And also, the demo does a really good job of getting you introduced to they put someone else in the box art, but who is arguably the main character of the entire thing. It's really the only one who's, like, ultimate choices. Let's see, yeah.
Connor!
Well, they put Marcus on the front, but I'm like, let's be honest, it's what Connor does that determines whether everyone's screwed or not. It's like, that's what we're really looking for here. Mm-hmm. And so, let's put this guy there. And so we watched that, and then Mallion's like, you know what? We should look for a perfect choices run. And I'm like, okay. So I look it up. Turns out there's a lot of people who've just organized that like a movie, where they just do like all the best choices. And so Mallion agrees to watch it with me. So I put it on because originally we're drawing. You know, like I was going to do some art. I wanted something mindless to put on, so I put it on, and it plays like a movie because it has like they cut out all like the loading screens and stuff like that, so everything just evenly transitions one to the other. Oh, it's my turn again. And like it was like a movie. And I watched Mallion over there. She's originally drawing, and eventually she just puts down her sketchbook and just like lays down like I am, and we're both just watching it. And then over the course of the next 3 days, we would come home. She would come home from her work, and we would just put on that is the Detroit Become Human playthrough we were watching. It was literally like watching a TV show. Like that. It was the strangest yet bet thing, because then the funny thing is, like, after that first night, we both came home and were like, were you thinking about this all day? Because I have to admit, I was thinking about this game all day. And you're like, oh my gosh, me too. It was just
so
like,
crazy.
It was just, it was so weird, because it was like, again, something I literally put on out of boredom. And then it turned into this thing that me and Mallion were like legitimately
and
like,
I'm not like a big
tuned
fan.
into.
It's like I'm not like a big fan of stuff that's got real life people. Like I watched Resident Evil 8, but I didn't want to really do too much Resident Evil 7, like because 8's got cool, hot, tall lady, and 7's just got like normal vampires. So I was like, that was really not my favoriteest vibe. So the fact that I was like, yes, I will watch a full live 3D motion capture
with no
game,
other distractions too, like
which
committing
is
to watching it.
Super rare. Normally, I love doing stuff on my phone while I'm doing even things I enjoy watching, like Five Nights at Freddy 5
like
Bears.
no extra distractions. You knew.
Well, yeah.
serious.
Normally, I'm like playing games on my phone. I'm playing Neopets. I'm reading something. No, I was like, boom.
Like we came home and watched
I come home and be like, I'm so excited
show.
to watch our show today. Our show, the video game on YouTube.
The video game that essentially we're watching as a movie right now because of how cinematic it is.
Yeah, really. Like, shout out to that.
And so we like literally over the course of like 3 or 4 days, we watched this, and like it actually took us like a day or two to like the animation for this, for my guy, it seems like it's going really slow. Like it seemed like it should be going faster than it is. But like. And the thing was, like, I don't know, you had, like, either an assembly line or something, but we were, like, on the final one, and it was, like, an hour and a half long, because it's, like, the last level or so is very long, because it has all the characters, like, come together.
Really intense. It's like watching a really good TV show. Like, a really good TV show.
And we had to, like, literally make an event out of it, because we're, like, because we were, like, literally because I go to bed at 10, but we were staying up till midnight, like, 3 days in a row, which I don't normally do. I can't normally do, because it kills me. But because we were like, okay, just one more part. Let's wait until we get to a good breaking point, and then we'd be like, oh my gosh, did that just happen? And then we, like, would go to another one, and then eventually, the next thing you know is like, oh, it's 1 a.m. You have to work it tomorrow, you know?
Yeah, and you're like, oh.
So, purely based off of that and how much we enjoyed watching it like a movie, I decided to buy the game and be like, you know what? We've already played this. I mean, kind of. We've already watched it. Let's play it. And also, to be fair, that's also though me and Melly don't have a problem with like that, because on one hand, you know, I am usually for the blind playthrough. Normally I am. Like every Fire Emblem game, I play through blind and I make a bunch of mistakes, and that's my second playthrough that I truly enjoy the game. For the first playthrough, you're just learning the basics. Second playthrough is when you really come to appreciate the game. If it's a really good Fire Emblem, you'll love it in the first playthrough and the second playthrough. But the whole thing is that like, normally we will do blind playthroughs, but there's certain things when you're like concerned about like missing stuff and you don't know if you're going to love the game by the end, we will use guides. Like Persona 5, we actually had the most fun looking up a dungeon guide, and I would play the game, and Malin would tell me where to go, so we could like.
And then I would fall asleep, baby. Ooh, I was snoozing. Evie would go grinding. I'd be honk shoeing.
And so like that was how we like enjoyed it, was the fact that we were like, you know, that's what we did, and it was actually like, you know, sure we weren't doing like our blind playthrough there like I normally would have liked to, but that was actually okay because we were still enjoying it in our own way. And the whole thing is to get around to that. So Persona 5 we played with a guide because we didn't want to miss anything because we knew Persona 5 was a long game. Funny enough, we ended up playing it 3 more times afterwards anyway, so, you know, we could have actually, like, missed a lot of stuff in the first playthrough and been fine.
But I love, especially with games like Detroit Become Human, like Persona, when you have a game that gets close to or exceeds 100 hours, I'd rather just have a really good first run through versus, like...
And then you come back and love it later.
Exactly. Both of us have played different Fire Emblems, and Fire Emblem, depending on how you play it, can be a, you know, 45-hour game to a 100+ hour games. Like the first time I played
yeah, it really depends.
Fire Emblem Fates on the
You'll
DS,
get the most out of that game if you want to.
yeah, 60 hours. First time I played Awakening, I got all the supports, so stuff that's completely optional. I got every single one that, you know, easily grounded up to 80+ hours. My first playthrough of Three Houses, it was 150 hours. And that game could be over in 80 probably. It's a much shorter game. No, it's a much longer game, but I like just took my time with it. So it's like when you have games like that, typically with Fire Emblem, we're like, well, that one you go because it's a strategy game. We're like, you can go in blind or you can go in with a guide.
It's gonna go in blind with those games because that way you get to know the characters because they have large casts.
That game in specific, due to the way that how Fire Emblem runs, a lot of times it is more advantageous to go in blind because it is a strategy turn-based game. Versus in like games like Persona, you've got you've got the calendar system.
Well, the other thing is that also a lot of game guides go and tell you like which units is good versus the other, and you want to love the character for the character, not for their stats.
Yeah, so in a game like Persona where it's the characters' interactions and the characters' motivations are what drive the story, versus in Fire Emblem, you're driven by external forces and how the characters react to that external stimuli is more the focus, versus in Persona, it's like the characters are the focus, and then the plot revolves around the characters, and in Fire Emblem, the plot's the focus, and the characters revolve around the plot. It's kind of like that. So it's like, it's easier in Fire Emblem to not go in with knowledge versus it's easier in Persona. For me personally, it takes away like that stress of like I would always feel like I'm missing something. Even in Fire Emblem Three Houses, I did have a speech guide up so I could see which answers would give me like the good rating to get like, if you get a good rating, you get points towards your supports, and then your supports are how you like raise your rank, like heart rank with characters. And I wanted to have all the good options because I was like, I don't know if I'll have enough points for this character if I don't get all the good options. So I would do that. So that's how I did that. And on my plan for this makeup is
So yeah, to drag our thing back to where we are. So the whole point being is that like, we like using guides for certain things, but we don't know if we're going to go through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the thing is, when you get the best so we watched Detroit Become Human, we've watched the best possible ending. So that means that if we wanted to later to get different endings or worse endings, we could, because we know what the best one is already, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's like, you give more, like, room for, like experimentation then, I think. So that's why I bought it, because, like, ultimately it's like, this is something that, like, I actually ended up really liking the characters. Attack proficiency gained power with her. Oh, that's not any good. She doesn't have a lot of great artifacts, honestly. But, like...
she's a tutorial character.
Yeah, unfortunately. Okay, and then I think I have to go fight a boss. But, like... I liked all the characters, and the thing is that the reason I want to, like, talk about it is the same thing as, like, you know, I brought Resident Evil 8 to talk about the gothic stuff in it that I really think is very cool, and it's the first time I've actually been like, I like horror games that feel like they could be an art piece. Not, like, in terms of being pretty. I mean, like, as in, like, the way you look at literature. You might not like the story, but the way you can go and be like, this was constructed with like a certain idea in mind. And I would actually hold Resident Evil 7 to that as well. It's not as much, but I think it's still in that same vibe of the idea of like you're going for a certain feeling. There's detail that can be broken down. There's intention here. I just want to hear the devs go on about their thought process in designing it. You know, like, yeah, gameplay, good, awesome. But it's like, there's also like things where I'm like, I really want to go and be like, man, I hear about this. I'm just gonna skip after this. Big point, we're fighting the guys for the giant acorn. Really all you need to know. So the whole thing is that, yeah, I have to make sure no one... I don't know why it's on my side of the field, but I have to protect that, so...
It's fine.
Yeah. It's weird.
Shout out to the giant acorn.
Giant acorn taking up a lot of room on my field. It's awesome. Just love having less room for used units and stuff. And of course I put my dragon right next to it that needs a lot of room to charge up. Sure, why not? I didn't need that room anyway. The other thing is that you can kind of manipulate a little bit. It's just hard to... I need to move this guy out of the way. Because they couldn't give me an elite unit. They have to give me my large unit at the same time. I have this giant freaking acorn. And anyway, so the whole thing is that, like... So... Like, I would like to go through and kind of, like, play that. And here's the thing. If we played it on stream, I don't know if we would immediately start with a pacifist run, or just kind of do a little bit of wiggle room of that. Obviously, there are certain relationships that I feel bad about not making good. There are also things that I'm like, I wonder where I can get certain characters killed, you know? Like, there's like, you know, like, some cases you can, like, let a character get killed and just be like, oh, well, it's their story just doesn't happen now. That's it, you know? And you're just like, oh, really? That's cool. I need to get rid of that thing there, but I need to move those over in order to get that to happen. And it's fine, and give me a minute. I should be fine. The funny thing about those, like, guys, there's a spearman on the knight side that I didn't realize what their special thing is they did until, like, my most recent playthrough of this game. Like, so their thing is that they use their spears so they can just, like, go through any, like, units that are on the field without taking damage themselves.
That's crazy, yeah.
Unless they hit something that has, like, a higher, like, damage rating than they are. I never realized they did that. I've played this game so many times, I never once realized they did that. I'm like, oh! That makes sense now. Cool. Actually, I'm gonna call it units.
What are our thoughts on ASMR? Like, have you guys seen those, like, eating streams? The ASMR ones where, like, mine specifically on TikTok are the ones where, it's always, like, a tiny girl has this giant pot of, like, noodles of some sort, or it's, like, the bulldog noodles, or the, ramen noodles, or the, jjajangmyeon noodles. We got a bunch of them, and then, like, she's got, like, 20 eggs, and she's like, thoughts?
People watch that?
I watch it, dog. Eyes on the screen, baby. What are your thoughts on those, Evie? Like,
I mean, I'm not bothered by food noises. I just don't see the idea of looking for that as opposed to, like, a commentary.
I don't look for it, but when it comes up, I'm always like, interesting. Like, I'm not, you know, like, I don't like that in real life. I don't like mouth noises.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna happen.
And I don't like sitting there and, like, watching it, but when they're like, gulp, 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 you know,
I hate that they gave
they're,
me
like,
my thing
drinking
in the
this
middle.
thing, and they've got the mic, like, wake, like,
They gave me
actually
back
know
to
the
the
mic's,
loading
like,
screen.
clipped
Just
onto
give me
it.
the option to retry. I said this the first time I died when we were playing this game. Before they had a little sprite, they fell to their knees and then they just fell down, like,
That's
flopped over.
really funny, actually.
And they just give me a generic game over screen now. That's so lame.
Oh, show me the character dying.
Yeah. Again, there's some things that I can see are better in this, and there's a lot of things where I'm just like, yeah, this is, I like the little chibi sprites better. They did a better job.
Anyways, I think those streams are interesting. I'm not a big fan of, like, but there was this one, I only like the soap cutting ASMR videos. There's this one thing on Snapchat.
Video, you know that.
Yeah, the one thing on Snapchat that's like the satisfying whatever thing. I like the one where they have the thing and there's like soap and there's like shaving foam inside, and when they crush it, it's like, and it's like, psh. I like those. I like those kind of like the crunchy ones where they're like, I'm not a big the soap cutting, it's only if they have, you know which one I'm talking about, where it's like soap and then it's got like it's like pre-cut and they go like this. They have like the utility knife that's like all the way up and they're like, and then it's like all the little pieces fall off because it's already like, corrugated maybe. It's like,
oh yeah, like
and then it's like,
Markiplier played a game like that.
Love those. Let me see if I have one of those ready on my Snapchat. We'll do a live slug react to.
Live? Why are you watching things about slugs?
Evie, if you don't know live slug react, it's a meme, you'll get it. If you don't know, you don't know, dog.
ASMR vids.
What'd you say, Evie?
I don't know a lot of things. That's why I require you to tell me.
Where is, I wish it was, I don't know if it's on here today.
Okay, I actually got a lot of walls set up this time, so we're doing a little better.
Simply, oh, they don't have one today. Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. He's like, I want like the satisfying. Boo.
I like the ones where heal every turn. They really aren't that strong.
I also like the ones. Have you seen the soap filling videos where they have like and then like the ASMR videos where they make fun of you and make you feel bad? Like
so essentially what we do on stream.
Kink shaming. You like degradation.
I think that
you
that's
suck.
Literally what you
You've
guys
got bad
do to
credit
Madeline
score.
whenever she's on stream. Be like, Madeline, you suck.
Hey man, you have feet that smell so stinky, and you also, I bet you can't even run a mile. What about that, punk? I bet you freaking. I bet last time you mowed your lawn, you stepped in a hole and rolled your ankle because you were distracted by thinking about taxes. You big loser.
Oh, are you doing that ASMR
How's that
thing
for
now?
you? Did you like that ASMR? Yeah.
Is that like, are you doing that right now?
Yeah, that was my ASMR. Making you feel bad. Degradation. So you got a kink, is what you're telling us.
I mean,
we're just sharing our kinks
now.
On. You're so professional at that. I practice every day in my classroom.
Honestly,
literally.
Honestly, she does.
Role play. Wait a second. I gotta pause the makeup to do role play. This is role play. Let me set the stage for you. Morning meeting. On the rug. One teacher sits to the front. One teacher sits to the back. I'm at the back. The front does the whole class. The back does behavior management. We got kids sitting down. I've already got one kid in a chair. He needed to take a break. He's already in a chair. They sit on the carpet. He's in a chair. He's been moved. One girl comes up, wants to sit on my lap. She's being real clingy. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, your option is you can sit in a chair or you could sit on your dot. Right now, my lap is not an option. What would you like to choose? And she's hitting me with the, I really want to sit in your lap. And I'm hitting her with the, that's not an option. You can choose chair or you can choose dot. I'll let you choose. If you have a hard time choosing, I'll count to 3 and I'll choose for you. You let me know. And then we're hitting the 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm choosing chair. Come sit in the chair. She, in case you're wondering, did not choose chair. So I'm hitting the, right now, it's not fair for you to be able to sit in my lap because there's 12 kids and I only have 1 lap. If I can't share with everyone, it's not fair to other kids who want to sit in my lap.
So is this, are we still going in the degradation?
No, we're doing the gently scolding preschooler. I need you to choose chair or your dot.
Counts.
Chair or your there's none. And then she's imagine in between everything I'm saying, but I really want to sit in your lap. I really want to. And also, mind you, the teacher's still teaching. And there's 11 other kids going nuts, and she's like right here, so that's what we're doing. ASMR, gentle teaching. I don't know. I'm not a parent. Hey, I didn't go to school for this. You know what I went to school for? Pee. Get that gentle parenting ASMR. It was like, I don't actually know what I'm doing. I don't know if this is teaching. You know what I learned this off of? TikTok. Hey, man, I went to school for media communications, not child communications.
I mean, to be fair, if you can communicate with the adults of today, you can communicate with a child.
If you can't choose, then I can offer you an option, and that option is to sit in the office with. I don't want to dox her. You can sit in the office with the director. Would you like to take a break in the hallway or the office? It's either you take a break or you sit on your dot. Those are your 2 options. There's not a third option. My lap is not an option. I understand you really want to sit in my lap, and I Would love you to sit in my lap at recess time when everybody can have a chance. Yeah, I'm so scared right now. That's my teacher voice. I go quiet. Ooh, I go quiet. Just kidding. I can
Your
also
teacher
yell.
voice is scary. Not as scary as mom's though.
No, my mom's so scary. Well, that's because she's like a professional teacher. She's like trained.
She's a mom, of course she is.
Yeah, she's like, and she's a trained teacher. Like, I'm not a trained teacher. I learned through experience. I'm hitting the. We're going to the office now. Please stand up. I gave you the option, and you chose neither. So the answer is the office. Please stand up. We're walking to the office. No, I'm not gonna call your mom. You're gonna go take a break. You're not going home. You're taking a break in the office. Okay, have a seat in the office. I'll see you. I'll see you when you're ready to come back to the classroom. You choose when you're ready. I'll see you there. That's me. That was me this morning. Hey man, we've been in school for 2 minutes. I'm so not ready to be doing it. And then we're hitting the playground. And then
so
I have my one of my students she's hiding. So we're supposed to go in from playground time for lunchtime. And we swap. So there's two 4-day 4s, and they have 8 and 7. And then we're the 5-day 4s, and we have 12. So we can all be on the playground together. It's just a lot of kids. So we go earlier and they go after. So they eat lunch and come out and we play and then go in. So we're going in. And normally we have 2 kids who linger and they want to go hide. So we pull out the, see ya, bye, we're going for lunch. I'm leaving you behind. Deuces, like we're like,
oh, someone shot an arrow at
bye
us.
bye. And for those 2, personally, it's easy. They're like, okay, I'm coming. Don't
Hey,
leave me behind.
I'd love you to read this one.
We pointed-eared elves have kidnapped the human guy. That Lord guy's son. We hold him at the our hunting camp. What is she gonna say? Our elf camp?
No, but the point is, this is all written on a note, so someone had to write this.
Our elf hunting camp, and we'll kill him with our little elfie daggers. Okay, so this is humans.
No, it's the demons.
This speaks of Godric is written on Birch Parkman, but it's certainly a demon trick. Oh, okay.
The demons, but
It
they
is.
went through the process saying, like,
Cross it out. Our little elfie daggers. So we got one kid, anyways, to finish that story, we've got one kid hiding. So she's hiding, not our normal lacquers. So she's hiding under the slide. And I was like, deuces.
I like how she literally says, "You're slow, go home."
Loser. And we're like, we're leaving, doses, because that's our strategy for the other ones. I'm like, I'm being for a bye. I'm leaving. And the other teachers are like, what? Girl, I got 12 kids. I'm leaving. You got 8 kids in your class. I would love to have 8 kids in my class. We have 8 kids next year. Hype. So, well, we also get some, a lot of the kids who go to 5 days need that extra day to work on their behaviors. That's why a lot of times in 5 days you used to get kids that need extra time to work on behavior, academics, that kind of stuff. So, you know, we got a lot working on. So I'm like, bye. I tell the teachers, I got kids on here. I'm leaving them. I'm leaving the kids. Deuces, bye. I'll see you never. And I go back later on to get her back in reprimands. I'm walking around. It's not safe for you to hide on the playground. That is not safe. You have to listen to the teachers the first time because we want to keep you safe. If you're out here and no one's watching you, you can really get hurt. Do you understand why I'm upset with you right now? Yeah, I'm not angry. I'm more upset because I'm scared you're going to get hurt out here by yourself. Yeah, you are. We are going to have to talk to Mommy. I'm sorry. I understand it's very... Yeah, when you talk to Mommy, you don't get to go to the park. But when you don't listen to your teachers, it's not safe and we have to talk to Mommy. Yep. And then I slam dunk them into the toilet and I give them a swirly. I swirly my students. I hit them with the... Yep. I'm sorry, but actions have consequences, and we'll learn how to deal with them together.
See,
That's what I'm doing. I'm here to help you learn.
Revives
and
once after death.
Then I teach them how to throw a mean right hook.
Oh,
and
but
I beat them up in the hallway.
Originally it was regenerated 25%, but that's fine. Point is, Ring of Life, that thing. Now I have
I'm
to
a
go.
gentle parent ASMR.
You gentle parent them, Malin.
I'm gonna think of a nickname. I was about to say his real name.
I always just
Jonathan,
say John.
if you don't sit down right now, I'm gonna wedgie you so hard, you're gonna grow a second butt crack. Sit on your dot. I love it. If you don't sit on your dot right now, you're never gonna be Skibbity got Riz. These are real conversations I do have with the children. One of them, you can be Skibbity, you can't be toilet. We can't use potty talk at school. Yes, you can be Skibbity, but you can be Skibbity bathtub. That's okay. You can be Skibbity you cannot be Skibbity toilet. There's no toilet talk at school. I would love you to be Skibbity kitchen. That sounds so fun. Yeah, Skibbity trampoline. Oh my, you're so smart. You're so creative. I love Skibbity trampoline. Go have some fun. Okay, go have some fun. Me shooing them away from my table that's this tall. My table's like 1 foot off the ground. And it's like a little plastic table. And that's why I do like all my, like I do the art center, and my teacher partner has like the long fancy table because she does like academics and important things. And I'm like, what? That's finger painting. Woohoo!
Honestly, that is important though. Don't
it is
just
important.
Surf there.
Arts and crafts are very important. My class last year was a little bit more into arts and crafts than this year. But yeah, I'm hitting the. Hey, are you sus right now? You mean sus right now? Someone sus. Imposter in the classroom. You can't be a crewmate. Hey, if you're punching a friend, crewmates don't punch friends. Hey, these are real conversations I've had with kids this year.
I can confirm.
If you don't pack up your bag, you can't be a crewmate. Sorry. If you're not in line in the next 3 seconds, you're an imposter. Hey, don't cry about it. I gave you 10 minutes to clean up, and you're in your last 3 minutes. No more Skibbity ever. That's literally one of my kids in my class. He loves Skibbity Doilet. Skibbity Doilet. I'll get you the sound clip. I'll play the audio for you. Let me find my phone.
See, this could get really bad if I'm not
Skibbity
careful.
Doilet.
Nightmares are like the worst things to face against. Because once one charges up, they all activate. So it means that, like, you know, if you have like 4 in the field, but only one of them is charging up this turn, it means that you could get hit by like 4 at once, which is the worst.
So funny when I look through like photos, it's like, oh, all the photos of my class. Love that for me. Okay, let me find. I gotta find Skibbity Doilet. Hey, I love how one of the faces that comes up is Tom Hiddleston. Hey, shout out to that, honestly.
Why is that?
Because I guess I just have enough photos of him on my Google Photos that it's like, hey girl.
Fair enough.
I'm surprised that, like, where's the video of my man Juan? Showing me every single person I've ever met in high school ever. Hey man. It's showing me his mother. But it's not showing me the boy himself. Give me a second to get Skibbity Doilet. Let me see if I can get the hand washing one. Because the one kid that is... I freaking love this kid. So, for context, we gotta hit the we're washing our hands moment. So we're teaching him to sing while they wash their hands. So I'm like, you can sing any song you want. You can sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Happy Birthday, the alphabet. Homie walks in there, and I stand in the hallway for privacy. But I leave the door open so I can make sure they're washing their hands for long enough. And I hear the sound of my people. What do I hear? Hey, this is unprompted. My man has started singing. Hey, your Joy-Cons attached.
Yeah, it's because I'm using my Scarlet and Violet ones. I can be literally 5 feet away from this thing, and these things will be like, I can't find the switch. I don't know why. It's not like even a drift issue. It's like, this is just the issue I've had with these Joy-Cons.
Curse of Scarlet and Violet, dog.
It is. It's an accursed game.
Okay, I'm gonna play it for you. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it over the sound of the water rushing, but I'm gonna play it. See if you can make out what he was singing while washing his hands. I filmed this from the hallway, so it's a little loud. I don't know if that came through as anything besides just like aggressive static, but that was my fave in the world going art while he's washing his hands. Hey man, you're so funny. You're so cute. I would never dox my kids on here though, but I would love to show you be like, this cutie pie, this cutie patootie. But kids get their privacy. Gosh darn it.
As they should.
Darn. Just kidding. They're so funny. I gotta find stupid deep toilet. Cause this, and the kid I'm about to show you, his codename is Juan. Because that also really fits him though. He is the one, I don't know, like where he gets you. He says the funniest things. I have 2 kids in my class that are just really hilarious. And one of them, when we were sitting, so we have chapel on Tuesdays, and we're sitting there and he goes, I've told you this story before. If you would like to watch more Peppa Pig, hit subscribe now. We were like, huh? You said what? Because we're like, oh yeah, the lights are so hot, they're so far away. Yep, it's loud. If you would like to watch more Peppa Pig, hit subscribe now. And this week, we were having a birthday snack outside, and he goes, we're like, if you're done, like, eat until you're full. When you're full, you don't have to finish your cupcake, just eat till you're full. And he goes, he pulls out his cupcake, surprise, motherfucker! And we were like, you said, what did you just say? It's that one clip, you know, that guy from, from, what show was that? Dexter, I think?
Yes, Dexter.
Dexter's a surprise.
That's where the reason we was
Yeah.
because Mom watched the entire show.
I
and
watched
we're like,
the
that's
first
where
half.
that's from?
Yeah.
We were like,
so
that's where that thing
he
is
says
from?
that, mind you, he does have a decent accent. So he's saying mother, father, I believe.
Yeah, he probably doesn't even know what the word is.
But it sounded like he was saying, hey man, that was so funny. He said that, and we're outside on the playground, sitting at a table with all the other kids, and he's whipping it out. He whips it out, surprise, mother. And we were like, you said what? And then he's whipping it, he's going to the kids behind, surprise! And I'm cracking up. My co-teacher does not hear him. I'm over here, I'm giggling my pants off. Because I know the reference. There was that trend on TikTok during the pandemic that was like, all rise, some fries.
I love that one.
You know, like the
Heart eyes.
yeah, heart eyes, like the whole trend.
That one made me laugh so
Because
hard.
who showed you that? We'll get into
No, these kids are showing their parents.
Well, the funny thing is, his parents are so quiet, and so like they have such good manners. So they are
I mean, to be fair, Willow has to outdo what's his name from 2 years ago with the long hair who tried to marry you.
I did have a kid propose to me. That's from a long time
But
ago.
I mean,
He
in
did
terms of
propose to
saying
me.
wild things that we're like, okay, you're not gonna say that in front
Well,
of
it's
the
like
kids.
the rule we have is like we will believe 50% of what they say. If you believe 50% of what what we say, whatever. Whatever. 50-50. But it was so funny. 'Cause I was like, who showed you? Because his parents are they're both professors, like math professors. So they're both quiet people. They know like 5 languages. English is their second language, but they also speak like 3 other languages. Like they're super smart. They're very polite, all that kind of stuff. He's whipping out all these like movie references. He's also the Skibbity Toilet kid. He's also the kid who said subscribe now for Peppa Pig. He cracks me up because and he's got like his little accent. Oh my god, he kills me. And I was like, who showed you that? Because I know your only sibling. I had his sibling last year, and super smart, crazy smart kid, and but also like great with manners. So it's so funny. He's like, oh, my cousin. I was like, how old is your cousin? He's like, oh, maybe like 79. I was like,
Yep, sure.
yeah, okay, buddy. I think he's got like a teenage cousin, I believe, and I think that's what.
Well, I mean, the Succubus designs are pretty close to the original in this game.
That's good.
Well, it's like the only one I can say that for right now. Definitely, again, the Elven designs I think might just been the ones they worked on first, because those are the ones I'm just like, wow, cool, looks like we're playing a Windows game.
Oh, I have pictures from when I first started nannying Patrice.
Patrice?
Oh, they're so cute. I found a video of my buddy. Oh, he was so tiny at the beginning of the school year. It's him. It's my Skibbity Toilet buddy, and he is taking one bite of his rice and giving one bite to the bear on the poster. There's a poster next to his chair, and he's giving one bite to himself and one bite to the bear. Hey man, that's so freaking cute. Ah, my look. I saw a video of him at the beginning. He's gotten so big.
Really? He's so tiny.
I know, he's so tiny, but he used to be tinier. For reference, he's the size of Eevee's, like, Mew stuffy.
He is, because we took a picture of that once.
And then I have a video of Maeve being super cute.
I mean, she doesn't have to try hard, though.
No, she's so pretty.
You got a mohawk.
I love babies. This is when I first got my bangs cut. Where is this video of this kid? I don't know the videos. Can I look? Such videos. Skibbity doilet. Oh, here's another banger. What did you ask?
You're a sassy buck.
Hey man. You're a sassy baka. That's funny.
And he has probably no idea what that means.
That makes me freaking giggle. That makes me laugh like this. That's funny to me, yo. Where's freaking Skibbity Doilet? You don't Skibbity right now, I'll freaking beat you up.
In this toilet?
If you don't get Skibbity right now. Ooh, the way I'm about to. Ooh. And freaking Skibbity at the exact moment. Okay, I don't know how early in the year it was. It's okay, if I don't fight it, I'll just die. It's fine. Whatever. I'll myself off the ledge. Oh, my sleep thing turned on. Yeah, I just won't find it. It's fine. Skibbity doilet. That means it's almost time for my bedtime. I gotta finish this makeup look.
Yep.
Eek.
I was gonna ask you how we're doing on time at the moment.
It is 10 o'clock.
Okay, so I'll probably finish this battle and then we'll call it there.
Okay. I'll try to speed do this look.
I like how no matter what that unit will always attack when 4 balls of fire, even if it only has 5 damage to do. Let's break it up into 4 like that. That's probably gonna hurt.
Blending time!
Okay, that guy didn't die. I'm impressed.
Speed.
I'll have to, after we're done here, I'll have to turn the game off and see if there's any updates. Because I feel like the animations were playing slower than they did last time.
Put Willow in my class next year. Please.
Yeah, no, like...
I was just thinking about it, I was like, just kidding. She'd be too smart for me. Put her in my class so I can teach her Skibbity Toilet.
I mean, assuming she doesn't know it already.
Yeah. Please imagine the riz she would have. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. She'd be crazy.
Are you kidding, Melon?
Where am I?
Kidding?
Imagine how powerful I would be if Lola was in my class.
Your power would truly be unmatched.
Could you imagine?
The world would not be ready for it.
5 days. A lot of days. I told my co-teacher we're going to be the first 2-day 5-year-old class next year. I was like, because she's got one son. She's like, yeah, I homeschooled him until he was the year before preschool. She was like, yeah, I put him in the year before preschool because he's an only child. So she's like, I wanted to give him some structure on school. It's like he didn't have like a sibling to rely on for like lunch and then, you know, recess or whatever.
Yeah, siblings are who you learn not to punch.
Yeah. Well, he like went to the park and stuff. So it's like when you're well socialized, it doesn't really matter. I was like,
I mean, we weren't that either, so.
yeah. I was like, but imagine how strong we would be.
I think that just from being siblings in the first place is the only reason we're strong at all.
Well, we also moved around because I was talking to my mom about that yesterday. Evie and I moved schools every
4 times.
year, every 2 years when we were younger, up until For you, middle school. For me, 4th grade. So up until 4th grade, Evie went to probably 11 schools. Right?
Yeah.
From her first year of preschool until like 6th grade. Because we
kept
moved.
jumping around.
Yeah, so it's like the way we moved is I don't know in your I didn't do the math.
So
For mine
I
is
went
like
to
I
different
went
preschool
to
and a different kindergarten.
we went to different preschools and kindergartens, and then I went to kindergarten and 1st grade at one school, and then we moved, and I went to 2nd and 3rd grade at a different school, and then we moved, and I went to 4th through 8th grade at a different school, and then went to high school. Easy dubs. But Evie went to like a different preschool, and then a different preschool, and then like a kindergarten, and then like a different 2nd grade, and blah, blah, blah. She went to like a billion different schools. Versus like my siblings, my little sister has gone to one school from like 2nd till 12th grade or something. Like she went to like 2 schools max. Versus Evie's been to like 75. I've not been to a lot. I think I only went to maybe 4 or 5 schools, which is like I feel like we didn't move that much, but for I feel like that's an average amount. You know, like I don't feel like that's a crazy high amount. It made me, I was like, it was interesting to see, it was almost like a case study. Evie went to a ton of schools, isn't super, like, outgoingly social. Like,
I think it's also the fact that
you're
like,
social with people you're comfortable with, but you wouldn't actively go to a social situation.
I think that also was I was predisposed to that to some degree. But also the fact that, like, we kind of, like, I remember I always wanted what all the other kids seem to have wherever we lived was the idea of, like, oh, you have a neighborhood of friends, and you kind of just know them, and you go and do stuff together. I tried everything to get friends, really. It was just like, you're just kind of sitting there being like, man, how could I just not get this to work? Like, everyone else, like, they seem to just be neighbors and enjoy each other's presence. They go to, like, friend's house, or you're in the same class, and you just enjoy each other's presence on the playground and stuff like that. It's like, that's why, like, it's good to know now, just because I'm like, wow, I, like, was really trying, like, every single strategy to have friends, and then you realize that when you're, like, 6 to, like, 10 years old, you shouldn't be having strategies to try and make friends. You should be just going and playing and be like, hey, let's chase each other around. And just be kids, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like, oh, well, that probably was half my problem there. Fun stuff. But, yeah, I definitely think moving around a lot did something. They have wild encounters in this game. See, normally if you go underground to areas like this, you can usually have, there we go, ambushes.
Yeah.
This is I have to do this to level up my units because I'm out of things before the final battle, so.
Okay.
I figure as long as we're talking, I'm gonna
I'm almost done with this makeup.
see if I can get a little bit extra EXP. So I need a little. I want to try and get my dragons a little bit higher level if I can. They are currently. I'm also trying to get my druids leveled
Why
up.
my finger hurt out of nowhere? Owie.
Just cramp up.
Yeah.
Some of these creatures are just ones that I'm like, I've already spoken about how like the imps look totally different in like the other game. Like here they have these like they expose like brains and they had tiny wings. The other ones they were like mostly bat creatures and now they're not, and that's a little weird. Not gonna lie.
Eyeliner is good enough. Can you see it?
Should have done that in a different order, but I didn't, and that's fine.
Next step. The green. I've got like this green, and I've got like this green, and I've got like this green.
You know, when you get to the later levels, you have to do the ambush ones in order to like get some levels up. The worst is when you're just like randomly training, and you'll lose like 4 of your champion units in the process, and you'll be like, sure, why not? This is a level, like 4 battle. I'm level 10, but yeah, whatever.
That's fine.
Didn't care anyway.
Yeah.
That happened to me so much in later ones, especially, like, again, we honestly might get to the undead part and just call it there depending on how much anyone does or doesn't like this series that we're doing. Because I really don't like the wizard part of the game. I try it every time, and I tell myself I'm gonna get better at it. And I'm like, nope, still hate this part. These are still the worst units. And it's the hardest bosses by that point in the game, too. Because it's the final area, so the bosses are hard, the units you have suck, and I don't really like the character because she doesn't really do anything. And then you just came out of the undead area. It's literally like Fire Emblem, where it's like, we just did like the coolest area. Now you're doing this area that's not nearly as cool. Well, no, I don't want that. I'm not saying it peaked with the undead area necessarily. The dream area seemed fine by all intents and purposes. It was the area after that that you're like, okay, I think we might have jumped the shark here. Here in our medieval fantasy with dragons and magic, let's go to a tech world.
You went to a tech world?
You know, place with Reagan.
It's been a long time since I played this game.
And Fafnir, whatever the heck is her brother's name is. In Fire Emblem Heroes.
Oh, yeah.
You told me about it. We're like, yeah, it was really unimpressive.
Yeah, they were like, Fire Emblem, where we use swords and lances. Let's use guns now for no reason.
It's just like, why? Who asked for this? It's when it's like I stopped being interested in the story of Fire Emblem Heroes just because I'm like, okay, this isn't really Fire Emblem anymore. And that's actually the whole reason I play Fire Emblem, because there's aren't a lot of like that are in that same medieval fantasy. Because to be honest,
like
I don't need a super deep, like, dark story, which is why a lot of people for some reason like Three Houses for. And I'm like, honestly, Three Houses for the character story is kind of take it or leave it. Because it still runs into the same problems that Fates did, where it's just like, the main lord who you choose is the good guy, but don't expect them to be that in the other paths, which is like, well, this world shouldn't it be the same regardless? And that's the thing that bothered me most. But, like, every other, and that's also why I kind of like this game as well, is like every other, strategy RPG, JRPG even, has like these dark gray color palettes. And like, you know, or they have the sepia tone. Or they look like, you know, something like Octopath Traveler, which don't mind me, I will play the Octopath Traveler at some point, and I think it's a beautiful game. I literally bought the whole $60 game off of the demo because of how much I enjoyed it. I don't often do that. But still to be said that there seems to be a standard now for strategy RPGs, which I enjoy a lot, like the one I'm playing right now, or JRPGs where they have this gray or mostly browns and red color tones. Why can't we have a little bit of color in our fantasy? But if we do, it's a kid game. You know where you find colorfulness? Pokemon, Sonic, kids games, supposedly. At least they keep claiming that, even though it's like the older fans who are buying them. You know, as long as I have a moment of rant here for a thing, I saw a video earlier today that was giving the argument of, like, you know, how like we want more story in Sonic games, but like, you know, the reality, and the guy's argument at least was, and again he kept stating like, I am a Sonic fan who wants more stories, but like, maybe we just need to accept the reality that it's mostly kids playing these games and that they're never going to do it, and like that the stories only appear to the core Sonic fans, but the regular Sonic fans
tell me one kid
doesn't care.
As a person who does childcare full-time, tell me one kid who plays Sonic. I know tons of kids who love the Sonic movie. I know 0 kids who play Sonic.
Well, the bigger thing that I thought,
I know a kid who plays Breath of the Wild. Doesn't play Sonic. Doesn't own a Sonic game in his household.
The biggest thing that I was thinking about when he was making the argument is like, oh, it's like most of the kids, like we gotta accept that maybe a lot of people are kids, or the casual Sonic players don't care. They just want a ha-ha-hee-hee story. And yeah, maybe we need to balance the jokes better, but maybe we need to stop wanting to have deeper storylines and drama. I'm like, I see Sonic in the same way I see Fire Emblem. It's not a complicated story.
Hers goes like okay, so the new one, hers goes all the way up to her eyebrow. The old one, it doesn't.
Don't worry about it then. I don't think you need to do the eyebrow. I think it looks better with the way you're doing it right now. Do the old one, because the old one is better.
It's the other side, and it's our part.
But, and I'm like, okay, I don't want, like, the bigger thing is, like, I don't see why we can't have lighthearted stories that are meant for adults, you know? Because honestly, we're all depressed. Why do we need to have more dark stories that are pushing the narrative? And granted, I appreciate if you have like a Last of Us story. Sure, that I can I never played it.
Every once in a while, it's fine.
Not interested in playing it. I just don't really care for the zombie
Just-
horror
yeah,
aspect
not
of it.
every game
but
can be
I
that.
like Resident Evil 8 or 7. I can respect them as an art form. I can go and look at that and be like, wow, what a well-crafted product. However, the fact that only that one gets that accolade, the fact that anything that's tries something a little bit more lighthearted does not, that they are seen, like, it's the same, like, dichotomy of animation. In that being like, oh, it's only for kids. No, it's not. We can do adult animation. Again, let's go back and look at Vox Machina. Let's look at Hazbin Hotel. Animation that's clearly made for an adult audience. But even then, honestly, the story of Hazbin Hotel, I think, is still very lighthearted. It's about redemption and family. I mean, it's like, honestly, that's why I think I enjoyed it so much, because it feels like a lighthearted, hopeful thing, even though we're in, like, the most hopeless location ever. It shows that it really is, like, if you want to put your mind to it, you can make a lighthearted story in any setting. That's why I think I like it so much. But I'm like, the fact that the guy was like, it was almost like, I almost wanted to, like, just argue with the guy, where I'm like, it's like, well, maybe us as song fans need to step away and understand that we don't need an intense story. I'm like, we don't need an intense story. But also, remember this. The biggest thing he said is, like, they need to make a more general story to appeal to a wider audience. And
He says play
really...
Deponia.
Deponia?
I don't think I know Deponia.
You'll have to look that one up. Yeah, you guys, you're gonna have to start sending us in screenshots whenever you give us these recommendations. Because, like, we don't know what you're telling us about.
Okay, I'll look it up. Looks like the one I'm gonna Well, they're super uneven. Who freaking cares?
I was afraid they were going to hit my dragon there, and I was about to be really mad. Because again, I'm facing like a level 4 enemy right now. I do not want to lose one of my dragons. I have more than enough resources to get it back. It would just be more like the indignity of it. But, so, his argument that he had about it was that, like, you know, that we need to accept that these are getting for, like, younger audiences. And the biggest thing they says, we need to make, because they're going to try and appeal to a wider audience. I'm like, no, that's why a lot of media sucks right now. Sure, you can have something that you want to reach multiple audiences, but you should not appeal to a wider audience, because you know what that ultimately is? Is that you're trying to appeal to everyone and pleasing no one. How many stories, media, TV shows have fallen flat in their face? Let's look at Wish even, you know, the one that most recently came out. Because they are playing it too safe. You have to, if you're going to make a statement about something, and you want people to notice you for making a statement, and applauding you for making a statement, you have to accept the fact that there are some people that are just not going to like what you have to say. That's the scary thing about art. It's a scary thing about writing stories. I should know. That's why I'm so terrified to share my writing, even though every single time I've sent it to one of my friends, they've said it's amazing. Is that you have to put yourself out there. There's a bit of vulnerability there. So when people go and say, we want to appeal to a wider audience, like, no, it means that you don't want to take a risk. And we're not asking for much. It's a Sonic game. I'm not expecting to be the Last of Us here. But there's a difference between the way Shadow was portrayed in the earlier, from pretty much up until Sonic 06 to the way he's portrayed now. The fact that I go into videos and people literally think, because of online influencers and media and memes and the stupid Sonic Boom game, they genuinely think that Shadow is an anti-hero. And he's not. At all. He's a straight-up hero. Also, I don't think a lot of people know what the term anti-hero actually means anymore. Which, you know, is, again, someone who does things that are at the base heroic, but their methods are definitely in the more villainous category.
Like Batman.
Well, not even Batman. I mean, when you think about it, he has a very strong code he holds to. Some versions of Batman can be an anti-hero. But generally, if you're going to think about the typical, like cartoon Batman, like, he has a code he follows and he does not break it.
That's fine.
I would say, like, anti-hero would be, like, arguably someone like Deadpool, who can be good, but a lot of times does more destruction than help. That's what I feel means is an anti-hero, at least. To be fair, anti-hero, anti-villain, all those terminologies are loose. they are very up for interpretation on their own. So that's why it's kind of hard to be like, when someone says they're looking at someone like an anti-hero or an anti-villain, you also have to be like, well, how do you define that term? But then, you know, sometimes people look at you weird whenever you ask that. So I've definitely had it happen. But the bigger thing is that, like, Shadow's not an anti-hero because at the end of the day, he's like, when he's in his proper incarnation, aka anything before, like, Sonic 06 thing happened, he is at the core a hero. He's seen as a villain by humanity because humanity is dumb and they, like, you know, they fear things that are stronger than them. And, like, he's sometimes been seen as a monster because he was confused for a time and did behave as a villain in his first debut game. So some people may be afraid of him just because of that, and also because he's not as effortlessly charismatic as Sonic is. So I can immediately get people to his side because he's, you know, has all that charisma. But, like, Shadow isn't. He's very antisocial, and not surprising. Like, has a lot of trauma, which he did get over eventually, and he does have friends in a small circle, but it's not easy for him to, like, you know, do things. He's honestly more on, like, the antisocial, the shy side. And, I mean, Knuckles was the same way, too. But, like, if people who, like, genuinely think that Shadow's, like, an anti-hero, and the fact that, like, you know, he does things his own way, it might not always be the morally correct way to do it, but he, at the end of the day, will help people, I'm like, no, that's not how his character works. And the fact that someone's gonna get on a video and be like, well, maybe we just need to let that go and accept that this simpler version of the character is what we're gonna get. I'm like, it's the reason most people, when they see announcements like the Shadow X Sonic Generations coming out, people are cautiously optimistic because they haven't done Shadow well since Sonic 06. And that was his best story, where it's just like, the whole story of that one is the fact that he realizes his future, as it stood in that game, was that the world will be destroyed, they would look for a scapegoat, and they pointed to him. And decided he was the reason that things went wrong. It wasn't right. And he, like any of the other Sonic heroes, had saved the world multiple times. Like Sonic, or Tails, or Knuckles, or any of the ones, he had saved the world multiple times up to that point. And they still went and looked at that. Here's this thing that we know was created to be a weapon, even if he saved our butt a bunch of times. And they decided they were going to blame him. And he learns that. Learns even to stick the knife deeper, mind you. Learns that not only is that going to happen to him in that particular future, it's going to be one of his close friends, one of the very few people he trusts, who will be the one who will ultimately be reprogrammed and forced to hunt him down. One of his best friends, mind you. And he's still at the end of all that, at the end of that thing, still decides that, like, you know, I might know this future might happen, or this future might not, but at the end of the day, he's a hero because he chooses to be. Regardless of how humanity treats him, he chooses to be a hero, he chooses to protect them, because he made a promise to his friend that he would always protect the world. He would let people have a world to have happiness in, to make their own choices in. Even if they made bad choices, he's just there to protect them and give them that option.
Glitterface!
That is not at all the current Shadow we have, unfortunately, in Sonic. Where he's a loner to a fault, he overestimates his power all the time, like to a ridiculous degree in the comics. And the worst part is that the writers, especially the ones in the comic, acknowledge this. They know this character could be better, but they're stuck behind either stupid Sega mandates, or some other thing, or just like, oh, well, the story wasn't that serious. They're stuck behind this, that, or the other excuse as to why they can't write him. It's almost more like spitting in the face, being like, yeah, we know how to make this character better. We're just choosing not to fix it. Because that one is that we don't want too complicated and dark of a story. We don't want to make this too complicated here. I'm just like, why would you do that? Why would you say you know you know that there's a broken mechanism here, but you don't want to fix it? That's just frustrating to me. It's why I'm like, I showed Madeline the trailer today at dinner for the Shadow thing. And I'm like, I want to be optimistic. I want to go into my nostalgia and be like, yes, I remember these levels. These were so good. They look so cool, the new animation. These, like, you know, the detailing looks great. I want to be optimistic and believe them at the word when they say they're going to make a Shadow version of the story of Sonic Generations where they're going to go through his whole past and history and deal with his individual traumas and why he's a hero that's, you know, kind of forced to walk on the dark side of things. I want to believe them when they say that. But in every single game he's shown up with, he's just been a mockery of what he is, and which it hurts because they've literally fixed like everyone else. In the comics, they've done wonders with Silver's character, and he had the debut in Sonic 06, which is, you know, worst game ever to do it. I love your makeup, by the way. It's very nice. Yeah, look at it. You know, look. Just put your face like close to the camera so we can like compare here. Like, look at this. Nice. I like it, Madeline. Okay. So like, I'm just gonna, you know, we're gonna have to just give props to Meredith on that one. Great idea. You'll just have to make makeup based off of the main characters every time I play this levels. It'll give you something to do when I'm doing this solo. I know, that's fine. I'll make this battle quick. I was just like, you know, letting you finish your thing up. But you get what I'm saying though, Madeline. It's like, I want to be optimistic. I want to be optimistic and take it that they're actually going to get right, because Sonic Frontiers finally did seem to take the characters to the next level. Like, they're like, oh, Amy isn't just a crazed fangirl anymore. She actually has some depth and character, and they're talking about like there are some like real themes of like death and stuff in there. It's not like perfect, but it was the first time in a while that it felt like I actually liked that version of Sonic's like voice acting. He didn't sound like a goofball. He sounded like he could be like carefree, but he knew when to be serious. He knew when, like, hey, we just saw someone die. I'm not gonna crack a joke here about like Eggman's mustache or something. I understand this moment needs to be treated with a certain weight. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for a super complicated story from Sonic. I'm just asking that the serious moments be given their weight, and if we only have 2 serious moments in the entire game, sure, fine. That's really all you had in Sonic Adventure. Just give the serious moments their weight. I hated that there were so many times when we were watching Hazbin Hotel that I just sat there and I was waiting for, like, they had a serious, deep moment, and I was waiting for some sort of like Marvel-esque joke to kill the atmosphere. It never happened, mind you. But I've just been so trained from watching other TV shows, other movies, even other games do that. I've become almost like accustomed to that. And when they don't do that, I like breathe a sigh of relief and be like, wow, how amazing, when really that should be the base standard for storytelling. You have lighthearted moments so you can have the dark moments later on. Like, you have, and then you can have a couple of dark moments so you have a reason to make jokes later on. It's a balance. And the fact that sometimes they just try, again, to appeal to the greatest audience, which means that you're appealing to no one, just find where your audience is and appeal to them. If Hazbin Hotel and Vox Machina have proven anything, you can literally make a product with the idea of only appealing to a certain audience, just one singular fandom, and the people who get it will get it, and they will pull you across the finish line, and the people who don't matter, because you weren't appealing to them anyway, you know? It's like, or like the FNAF movie, even. Is like, that one's like, if you got it, you got it. If you didn't, that was fine, because the movie wasn't made for you, you know? Like, fans loved it, but critics didn't think it was scary enough. I'm like,
that movie, I want you to understand, when I watched the FNAF for the first time, I was laughing so hard because you have to approach it as a comedy. It really is a comedy movie, really so cool. It looked cool, it looked cool. I don't know if it's like, can't really fill out eye shadows.
you can. I can see it from where I'm sitting. My whole thing is just saying, like, the general is that, like, there are some things that I think, yes, make these for general audiences. But I also think there are some things that it's fine if you're going for a niche audience. If that audience is strong enough, like the FNAF community, like the Vox Machina community, like the Hazbin community, which, mind you, was built off a singular
I didn't have my mic
pilot.
on, sorry, that was me being stupid.
The Hazbin Hotel has kept itself alive off a singular pilot on life support pretty much for 4 years, with nothing else besides the fandom itself to keep itself alive. And, like, if you know your audience is out there, then just appeal to them. Because they'll feel so seen. They'll feel like you are appealing to them. They'll get that whole parasocial relationship kick. and they'll be happy that they got that. You don't need to appeal to everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, some properties can, and that's fine. But I think some properties also should not be afraid to go and be like, you know what, we're not going to do that. We're actually going to go and give you this property alone, and we're going to know that this is going to tick some people off. I mean, to be fair, I think that was the whole idea of The Last of Us Part 2, that why I like kind of appreciate it for being bold. It's like, yeah, is this going to anger a lot of people? We know. Yeah, it is, but we also think this is the way that the story needs to go next, and we're going to take it there. This is what we're going to do. And you might hate us for it, but that's okay. Anyway, so that's what we have for tonight. Glad everyone showed up. I had a good time talking. Madeline did some pretty awesome makeup. Looks really... I think that's a great idea now, because I'll be playing a lot of RPGs anyway, probably on my singular nights. You should just do your makeup to like match them, Madeline.
The glitter wasn't part of the character. I just like to do it.
I think it really added the very Sylvan aspect to it, though. Mm-hmm. I think it looks very nice. I think it looks very cool, Madeline.
So bye check.
Yeah.
Yay! So
anyway,
I
think we made some good progress here. I only have like one more boss in the elf storyline for this, so we'll pick up with this game again next Thursday, and I think I'll be able to finish up Anwin's storyline. I'll go back to reading their lines again. I just wasn't here because I was kind of in the middle. I needed to rant tonight. I think I just need to do that.
That's fine with me.
So we did that, and we'll pick up again, and we'll finish off her boss line, and we'll go and do the next storyline. And I think I'm going to play this game at least the undead area, because then you can do Fiona's makeup, and she has some cool like colorations going on with hers.
Hers would be cool.
So yeah, we'll do that. So next Tuesday we'll be back. What were we playing? Did we decide whether we were going to play Sonic Frontiers or were we going to try a different game?
Girl, who knows? We'll figure it out when we get to Tuesday.
Yeah. So.
Hey, Tuesday we're streaming. Don't know what we're doing, but it'll be on Tuesday.
And we seem to keep hitting around the 7 o'clock area, 6 to 7 o'clock.
Yeah, it will pretty much never be earlier than 7. Let's just be real.
Yeah, just don't expect more than 7.
Just the way that my work schedule is, it's just 7 o'clock.
So yeah, expect somewhere around 7. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. We'll keep playing this game on Thursday. And, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for hanging out. Bye.
Thanks for hanging out, everyone.
Bye.